It is February 3rd in our year 2020. This is the Wrestling Inc. podcast. I'm Glenn Rubenstein, joined by Matt Morgan and Raj Giri, going to talk about Monday Night Raw. Tonight, so much happened. We've got some things set in motion. The WrestleMania match looks like it's starting to unfold. We know who's going to be facing Brock Lesnar at the Super ShowDown. A fair amount happened tonight. An interesting show. Matt Morgan, how's it going?
As it were, or those are your two favorite words, is as it were and oh. Raw.
Or
I'm doing well. How are you guys?
I'm good. I gotta say, they played that Fast 9 trailer right after Monday Night Raw went off the air. And I almost just want to talk about that for the next hour.
Oh, no, I missed it.
Oh, it's so good. I don't want to spoil it for you, but oh my God. It's just freaking crazy upon crazy upon crazy. And then when you think it can't get crazier, oh shit, it gets even crazier than that.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, it looks awesome. I mean, I think this could be huge for John Cena. I mean, I think people forget with The Rock before Fast 5, his movies, the ones where he was in the lead, were not really like, I don't think any of them did over 100 million in the US.
G.I. Joe felt like a very big success, though.
That one was. Yeah, that one was. That had a big cast. But yeah, he was the lead. So that might have been the one that did over 100 million in the US, and the rest weren't. And then after Fast 5, I mean, he just reached another level. I mean, Jesus, he's opening the Super Bowl. He's getting his own entrance at UFC events, presenting like belts. He's on another level right now.
He is.
Yeah, so we'll see if Cena gets that bump, but only a few short months.
Cena look good in it. It looks awesome.
It looks really good, and
who's he playing? Like Paul Walker's like Jack brother?
No, he's Vin Diesel's brother.
That's twist number 1 in the trailer. You just have to keep watching it. It gets crazier from there.
Yeah.
Cool. Yes. I still have not watched Hobbs and Shaw yet. I'm looking forward
that was so good.
I'm looking forward to it.
I started watching it on the plane.
That's where I saw it.
Yeah. I couldn't finish it.
Justin Lopez with a $2 super chat saying, but can you buy Cena as Vin Diesel's brother?
No.
It could be a half brother.
Should have been an ode to Paul Walker as an easy tie, and he looks like him, but like he ate 5 Paul Walkers.
Paul Walker's character is still alive in that movie, so
he is.
Yeah. He got the emotional goodbye to raise his family, but he left his
that's
series.
right. Yeah, you're right.
Man, I love that series. It's
great.
It really is great. It's
easy to watch.
So easy to watch. Hard to believe it started with them heisting DVD players off the back of semi-trucks, and now look what it's become.
Yeah.
Kind of crazy. Anyhow, Monday Night Raw tonight, we opened with Randy Orton, who's going to come out in Salt Lake City and give an explanation for what he did to Edge last Monday night. Came out to the crowd. First off, Salt Lake City, under a massive snowstorm, they kept showing us the footage. That crowd tonight clawed their way through the snow to be there. And oh my God, were they hot tonight. Very full audience, very lively crowd. People chanting and booing. Lots of "you sucks" when Randy came out there. And of course, in pure heel fashion, he just said he couldn't do it. Put the mic down, exited the ring. The crowd got louder, stopped to think about it again, and then just walked to the back. Milked it for all it was worth. I mean, he's gotten mega heat over this, and the crowd tonight let him know how they felt.
Very open and shut, very black and white, very easy to understand. What's there not to critique about this and say that wasn't awesome?
Yeah,
you didn't have to say anything. This was so good.
You know what it reminded me of was that WrestleMania the night after Roman beat the Undertaker, and it was like 10 minutes of just, or maybe it was like 15 of the crowd just booing and not letting him talk. And when he finally did, it was just, he said something really quick, like
he said, "This is my yard.
This is my yard now."
Yeah.
Orton was great here. He just comes across as such a total prick. He's such a good heel, and this was awesome. I love this segment. And when nothing happened, but it takes the story, it continues the story without having to do your formulaic stuff that you always do to keep a story going.
Well, here's another example of when you have a hot crowd, the difference it can make, because this would not have been a grand slam. It still would have been great and effective, but not as hot as they were.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And booing him as how hardly as they were booing him.
Yeah.
It was really
great.
good.
I felt like, we were talking last week when I was talking about AEW and WWE and the differences. And one of the things I think hurts AEW is the fans don't buy the heated angles because they know they're all friends. And and here, in WWE, they don't. So this really worked with this crowd. This crowd, it was hot at Orton, and they're into this, storyline. So it was really cool.
I think they do, Raj, to your point. I do think they do. They do think they're friends. They know Randy and him and probably in real life are friends. The difference is AEW puts too much of the breaking kayfabe out there. So they take any single modicum of suspension of disbelief out of our heads, But I would also argue their formula is just different. I think their formula they're just basing everything on is really well-worked matches and great matches. Yeah. But then again, you see Cody Rhodes and Dustin, and they did it the right way as far as, I don't know.
I thought Cody and Jericho were doing it the right way, too.
Yeah.
It felt like, to your point, I definitely know that, WWE fans probably know that Orton and Edge don't really hate each other, really like each other, but they're willing to suspend that disbelief more than, that.
And they're not going to put it in our face every single day, multiple times a day.
Yeah.
That they're at the gym, and they're,
right. They're going to be on
YouTube,
Right.
Grab ass videos, play grab ass.
So this just shows when Orton wants to, he can be that guy.
Oh yeah, he needs to be. But imagine him being that talented. That dude is so talented. I will argue that everyone always says, he's people always said about him, including Triple H, like he doesn't know how good he is.
Yeah.
Right. I would argue this. I would argue he's so damn good that he is so damn bored 90% of what they give him.
Yeah.
And he goes out and he just dials it. He does what he's got to do and leaves. But every once in a while, when they give him something that he's interested in, man, then you see him.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think it comes across. He definitely seems to be enjoying this angle more than a lot of the stuff he's been given as of late. Lana versus Liv Morgan was the first actual match tonight. This was relatively fast. Lana got a little offense in, but this was really Liv's match that she won pretty easily. However, when she stood tall to celebrate after, Ruby Riott came back because she's been out of action since having double shoulder surgery back in May. She got a great pop from the crowd, came into the ring, went to hug Liv, and then Ruby took advantage, dropped Liv from behind, and interesting. Lana just stood there smiling the entire time. What did you think of this return, Matt?
Kind of. They must have plans for her because it's WrestleMania season, and they brought her back. There's still a long list of other girls that I'd like to see on that card, and good for her personally, right? Great for her. What a great spot to be in.
I'm afraid that Lana and Liv and Rusev and Bobby ain't over. I think Bobby not winning in that triple threat means that he and Rusev are probably going to have another match in Saudi Arabia.
I can see that.
It feels like that feud is dead. I mean, they didn't even mention it, tonight. But yeah, I thought I was worried that they were going to do the 50-50 tonight. Like this was meant to be Lana's turn since Liv got the win last week. And thankfully it wasn't. But yeah, when Ruby Riott came out at the end, I think everyone saw that coming. They do that. I feel like they do that too often. So Ruby Riott came in to the shock of no one. Then she attacked Liv. But it's cool. It gives them something to do. Liv and Ruby can have, a cool little angle if they give them an actual story and give them some time. I'd like to see that.
What would you have the story be, Raj?
That Liv, has taken, has been trying to take her spot while she's been out of action, and you could do all this stuff that happened like while she was out, and make that into a story. They won't do that, but weave in some reality to it, and Ruby just feeling like Liv made it a point not to take advantage that she was injured. So
we shall see.
Yeah.
So Mojo Rawley versus Drew McIntyre in a match not for the 24/7 championship.
Yeah, we'll get to Nightmare Knee's comment here in a minute, but he said Drew McIntyre is a monster. I didn't realize how big he was until I watched Royal Rumble again. Him and Brock are going to be money at WrestleMania. Yeah, we'll get to that. He's a beast.
Do you think? And I saw this hypothesize. I apologize for not being able to remember who on Twitter had this theory that Mojo being in the enhancement talent spot for Drew tonight and Eric Young being in the enhancement talent spot for Alistair Black is a result of that storm, and they weren't able to get local talent out earlier because it was odd that Mojo tonight literally got dropped with that Claymore kick out in 3 seconds, and then later we saw Eric Young on television.
I didn't think so. I mean, they had Cedric Alexander, Shelton Benjamin working main event, so yeah. I mean they had other guys they could plug in. I think they don't want Drew beating an enhancement talent. They want he's going to be.
They want him beating Mojo Rawley.
Yeah, like someone with a little bit of something.
Matt, what do you think is more impressive, beating a random nobody or beating Mojo Rawley?
Mojo Rawley,
but not that much more impressive, right?
Plus, Mojo got some pub this weekend. He was at the Super Bowl. He was at Bill Belichick's, suite with Triple H and Stephanie McMahon. So,
this was his reward.
Yeah.
Did you catch Gronk last night, Matt, after the Super Bowl and the Masked Singer?
No.
It's not for sure that's him, right?
It's pretty much him.
I thought so too. But so, Matt, did you watch the Super Bowl?
Yeah.
So you had Ric Flair in a hummus commercial. Daniel Bryan had a brief thing. John Cena obviously was in 2 spots with the beer commercial and Fast 9, and then The Rock introducing the Super Bowl and also in a commercial with Oprah. So
wrestling very well,
yeah, wrestling was
represented.
Yeah, and then multiple spots for SmackDown, even though like one of them just showed The Undertaker, which made no sense to me. And they had Roman Reigns and Sasha Banks in a Pizza Hut commercial during the pregame.
I'll be honest, if I had my own show and I owned SmackDown and I was on Fox and I was in the Super Bowl, I would show an Undertaker video too.
But don't you think that then if anyone does go to watch SmackDown after seeing that, and then
that's the whole hook. Oh yeah, definite bait and switch. I'm admitting to wanting to do it. Even yes,
but it makes him look pathetic. Like you have to advertise a guy that's not even on your show.
Say, well, wait a minute, it was pathetic with these guys. Wow, wrestling's really changed since I've watched it 10 years ago. Because that's who's watching the Super Bowl. People that ain't watching, they're trying to go up to the people that don't watch wrestling anymore. Yeah, but why not show your favorites? Hell, I'd put Hulk Hogan on one of the commercials too.
I'd put like Lesnar or Bray
coming
Wyatt.
back. I was just lie. Put a bunch of
Sting,
freaking Luthez coming back.
Bruno,
Bruno,
Andre the Giant. Yeah. Why not?
Got a bunch of stem cells and access to cloning, and it's all your favorites.
You ever notice when your friends or people like you work with, coworkers or whatever, and they want to always talk about wrestling, they always throw Junkyard Dog. You ever notice that?
Really?
Junkyard Dog is like a top 3 wrestler that they always seem to throw out. The people that don't really watch wrestling, obviously, anymore. Yeah. And they haven't watched it since they were a kid. They don't even like really say Hulk Hogan. They always say, to me at least, it feels like Junkyard Dog and Jake the Snake.
Jake the Snake, yeah.
They won't say Jake the Snake Roberts. They'll say Jake the Snake.
Yeah.
I hear Captain Lou a lot. Captain Lou about
that. Isn't that funny, though? What people will remember.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I hear Warrior a lot. When people talk about Ultimate Warriors or Hall of Famers, you talk about one guy that everyone knows from that era. It's Warrior.
I will say anecdotally, when I went to 80s night at Disney in my all Zubas outfit, I saw 4 people dressed as Macho Man. Not together.
Yeah, Macho is definitely up there.
He's a fun character to dress up as.
Yeah, I've been Macho Man as Halloween before.
Well, those photos have to go up on Twitter.
I think they're there somewhere. Okay. It's been years, but. Randy Hawkins, thanks for the $5 donation. He said, this is the first time since 2008 WWE TV came from Salt Lake City. Wow. That might explain they had a huge hot crowd tonight. Yeah?
Thank you, Randy. Yeah, we definitely acknowledge that and know that, no question. But they need to do it more. They need to find these bigger cities that apparently that they've not been going to.
Yeah,
right.
Because they're like burning out the cities that they always go to.
Yeah, wait. Well, why would Salt Lake City? It's a major city. How has that not been hit since 2008? I'm sure, but still,
there was no regulatory thing, no like weird rules that kept them off TV.
Oh, really?
I know. I don't know. Some states have that.
Okay.
Brett Baldus, thanks for the $20 donation. He's bringing up that they botched a bunch of Titantron entrances tonight. And I retweeted his comment about it. But yeah, Lana, when Liv Morgan came out, they showed Lana as Titantron, and then later with Rhea Ripley, they botched that.
Good catch.
Yeah, very interesting. So let's talk about this promo after Mojo, who, by the way, had Riddick Moss out there with him.
He got punked hard. Are you talking about Drew? What are we talking about?
Well, no, Riddick Moss, who was just standing out there with Mojo Rawley.
Oh.
Yeah.
But no, let's talk about Drew McIntyre's promo tonight and talking about how Brock is a coward and apprehensive of the sexy Scotsman.
Okay, so he's got to. Okay, you're taking on the beast incarnate. You got to drop that. You can't call yourself sexy. Let the women do that. You don't need to call yourself sexy, unless you're being a heel and you're supposed to be a badass. That's fine. We finally got our badass baby face. That's gonna take it to Brock Lesnar. Finally, just as strong, just as big, taller, hell, even right. I don't want to hear that you find yourself sexy. No, I want to hear that you want to. And he did get to the point, which I loved, about kicking his head off his shoulders. That's a promo I used to cut. I love that. I love that part. It's aggressive. I don't like all the posing he's doing.
Yeah.
I don't like the, wherefore art thou Romeo crap where he's getting down on a squatted position. You know what I'm talking about?
Yeah.
It was cool when he was doing it with Kurt, right before he'd lay into Kurt and pin Kurt, and retire him or whatever it was at the time he was doing. I forget what he was doing with Kurt Angle, right? It made sense then. But in the middle of a promo, I mean, would any of us do that? Would anybody in an MMA fight sit there and get in that position to just talk on television? It just looks unnatural. He doesn't need to do it. That guy is tall. He's jacked. He's good looking. He has so many things going for him. He doesn't need the extra crap.
Yeah, I feel like when he started doing the sexy Scotsman and the sexy Drew stuff, he was really good tonight. Other than that, I thought he showed a ton of charisma. He showed he's comfortable in the spot.
Yeah.
But I can see fans turning on that sexy stuff if they keep doing it. I can easily see this being a Vince thing. You're a babyface now. You're not the psycho Scottishman. You're sexy Drew. And man, even Shawn Michaels, when he was a babyface, fans turned on him pretty quick with all that stuff. So I think the gyrations and stuff. If it's just a one-night thing, no one's going to remember, but this is going to be a permanent thing. I can see fans turning on it.
Hey, everybody, be sure to RSVP for our WrestleMania weekend party where Raj Giri and Justin LaBar are going to have a Vince McMahon off.
A Vince off. I got to work on that.
Yes, just doing their dueling Vince impressions. You do that in front of the crowd. What do you make of this tonight, Matt? Buddy Murphy backstage talking to Charlie Caruso, and he's standing there cutting this promo, and he's not just wearing, Seth's merchandise. He's wearing a T-shirt with Seth Rollins' face front and center on it.
Yeah,
what's wrong? What were you gonna say, Raj?
Well, they're the disciples, so it kind of makes sense, that you would be wearing the leader's shirt.
It makes them really. I mean, it's one thing for us to think they're his disciples, right? And they're beneath him. But it's another thing to really just confirm it by marking out for your guy like that. I never wore Brock Lesnar T-shirts when I was on Team Lesnar.
Yeah, Batista wouldn't wear Triple H shirts. Exactly. He'd wear Evolution shirts.
Right.
And AOP wasn't wearing it, so
because they're smart.
Yes, Matt. If I show up WrestleMania weekend and I'm wearing a big shirt with your face on it, you're gonna be like, "You go to the bathroom, you change that right now."
You should do it.
You should do that on your own. I'd be pretty proud of that. That means you're a disciple of me. I'm cool with that.
Yeah. Real quick, one of the reasons they probably didn't do anything with Riddick Moss, why he didn't get kicked in that segment. So Drew beat Mojo in 3 seconds. I think a lot of people were worried that was for the 24/7 title because Drew getting that title, he don't want to do that.
Oh, I got you. Yeah.
But it wasn't. But yeah,
I can just see Matt. Someone tries to hand you the 24/7 title, and you're running away from it like hot potato.
Hell no,
away from me.
Hell no. But yeah, Riddick Moss, I guess he got his bell rung last week during his match with Cedric Alexander. So
I'm still surprised they stuck with that segment.
Yeah.
Is Tammy saying he seems like Seth's little brother who tags along instead of his partner?
I agree, Tammy.
Yeah, especially with AOP wearing their own gear. Get Buddy Murphy a shirt.
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
6-man elimination match. Kevin Owens and the Viking Raiders versus Buddy Murphy and the Authors of Pain.
Yeah, well-worked match, right? I mean, but
It's okay.
I thought AOP looked good here.
Sure.
Razor at the end, he looked like a beast. But I don't know, this feud, it's just kind of starting to drag. I mean, what's the point? What's the end point?
there is none.
It just feels like they're killing time.
Yes, that's a spot-filled match on the card.
When's the last 6-man tag that felt vital? I feel like 6-man tag is just code for get up now, make your dinner, use the restroom, start your laundry.
I wish they made 6-man tag belts again.
Yeah.
I don't know. I think you could do something with that.
They have too many titles as it is, though.
Yeah, they do, but think about it. You could kill more birds with one stone with get rid of the U.S. Hell, I don't care. But if you had a 6-man tag, that's now, 6 people technically being covered.
Yeah. 2
teams of 3 each week, for high stakes.
Yeah. It's Samoa Joe not there. Now, Michael Satch Jr., thanks for the $2 donations, asking if it's true about Joe getting 30 days for failing the wellness policy. That is what is out right now. WrestleVotes has been pretty reliable.
And you told me pot isn't considered a failure?
Yeah, pot's not a failure. So they are reporting that.
I like, Matt, that's where you went to first, because that was my first.
That was the first thing that Glenn said before we went on the air.
I know Joe. Joe's clean. I can vouch for him 1,000%. He's a clean athlete.
Yeah, so the tweet from WrestleVotes is the word coming out of Raw is that more suspensions are coming. Must be something in that Southern California water. Hint, working to confirm details. And then he tweeted a picture of Samoa Joe.
Well, then great. We need to know. I wish WWE needs to kill this confusion because they're hurting their own stars with this. Because everyone's normally going to rush to assumption that it's steroid related. Mm-hmm. If it's not steroid related, then it's not Ritalin, Adderall related. Mm-hmm. If it's not Adderall related, it's something. It's just not a good look if you can nip it in the bud and just say what they are. They're not going to be steroid related. I would argue a majority of them. Some of these guys that I've seen that have got popped, I know firsthand don't take steroids. Adamant against it, even back in the time when you could use them and get away with it. They never did it because it wasn't their deal.
There's one that's happened in the past few years that I know for sure was steroid related, but
sure, I'm not listening to me. But the last bunch that have just started coming out, they need to say what they are.
Yeah, according to Primo, where he was busted, he was tagged recently with Bobby Roode, and Primo was saying it was because he wasn't there to take the test. He was overseas,
that's right.
And they wouldn't fly him to come out. But
maybe that's it for Joe. Who knows?
Yeah, we'll see.
But I know personal experience. I know for a fact he's never taken it.
There you go. So this went down to Kevin Owens being the last man on his team, 3-on-1, but ultimately. Razor was able to pin Owens for the win. After that, they stood tall. Yeah.
Owens gets pinned too often. Even though the numbers are against him, I know the story that they're telling.
Yeah.
The more you see someone's arms pinned to the mat, shoulders pinned to the mat, the more it just takes away that specialness. If this is ultimately going to be Owens and Seth, Owens should not be getting beat all the time.
Yeah.
And it's good. I'm glad that Seth is getting these guys over. I feel like, again, pairing Owens with the Viking Raiders, not a good look for Owens.
No, God, no. He would be making fun of. He'd be the first one you would think that'd be making fun of them.
Yeah. Yeah.
Like, seriously, Kevin Owens is hilarious.
Yeah.
Right? So, no, I don't like him with them either.
Yeah,
I don't like anybody with Viking Warriors, though, to be fair, guys.
Pair him with Mojo,
Berserker.
Yeah, something.
It's the only one that will do for me.
Alistair Black versus Eric Young. First time seeing Eric Young in a while on WWE TV. I think he was.
Wait, real quick. You got that Ricochet promo.
Oh yeah. Ricochet cut a promo ahead of the Triple Threat tonight. He's been dreaming about this since he was 14 years old.
So Matt, I saw you got some tweets about this where they're like, "Are they giving Ricochet your stuttering gimmick?"
Oh jeez.
This was brutal.
What did I swear to God, I didn't see this.
He stuttered quite a bit. He had a hard time with this promo, and it was just the cheesiest. No, I don't think it was on purpose. but it was just the worst delivered. It was bad. It was painful. I felt bad for Ricochet here. The stuff that they're giving him,
why are they not?
You can tell he's not feeling it. You know,
they released it. Was it a pre-tape?
It looked like it was live.
Was it backstage?
Yeah, it was backstage.
But I don't think they pre-tape a lot of those anymore. A lot of those backstage ones are live.
Yeah, they're at 12 friggin' o'clock. What the hell else are you doing?
Well, not today with all the travel issues that talent had. But yeah, they really have not been pre-taping all these backstage segments. They do them live.
You know what they should do? Since they're not doing anything meaningful with them anyhow. Yes, this is good, Matt. The Street Profits should be Ricochet's hype men. The Street Profits should be Ricochet's mouthpieces and his posse. It solves all of the problems. And Ricochet can come across like a superstar, a rock star. He doesn't have to say anything. He can just sit there and smirk, look like $1 million. They can hype him up with these amazing promos. Problem solved.
Yeah. Phil, thanks for the $5 donation saying, keep in mind Joe has had a ton of injuries since he came to WWE. He could be just trying to stay healthy. Well,
really? Because I was confused for a minute, and I thought it was because he was going to enter the freaking Arnold. No bleep. Of course, that would be the only reason if he were to do it. But I'm still sticking to my what I know.
And thank you for your super chat.
And I will vouch for it. Not enough wrestlers do that because they're wimps.
Yeah, if it were me with Ricochet, just don't have him talk. You know, not all wrestlers have. Jushin Liger wasn't cutting promos in WCW
too. That's the thing about the beauty about him. He's so special. He's so different. He is that crazily athletic. He doesn't need to.
Mm-hmm.
He really doesn't. I don't know why they're having him, man. And then when they do, they need to have him do pre-tapes.
Permanent breast. If Ricochet is Superman, the mic and cutting promos is his kryptonite.
They are. It hasn't been pretty.
Raj is privately enjoying all this because he was one of the first to bury Ricochet's promos.
I think Ricochet is great, and I think they're booking him terribly by having him do these promos.
Yeah, yeah.
Street Profits solves all the problems.
I mean, it's a good idea, Glenn, but yeah, it is. But then in the middle of promos, he's just a dude sitting in the background.
But that's fine. Remember, it was a very 90s thing. Remember, I mean, it was like the athlete referring to himself in the third person. And then you have the athlete that didn't talk, just sit there and look mildly annoyed or have his sunglasses on all the time.
Yeah, but Ricochet. Did you see how you just described him as, though? You want Ricochet to be a star. You want him to be like third man of the group.
No, I think he would be the guy that we know what he can do in the ring. So let's have hype men hyping him up.
I just think he's so simple to book. I don't know why no one else can see it. It's so easy.
Yeah, WCW didn't have Ray doing the. I mean, Ray cut promos, but they weren't like that.
Need to.
Yeah. Anyway.
So, Alistair Black versus Eric Young.
Mm-hmm.
It was cool. Quick squash. Alistair Black looked great. So on the flip side, Alistair Black's promo I thought was really good. He delivered it great. I don't know what the hell he was saying, but he did it in such a cool manner that it enhanced his character, and it worked.
This was a good win too. Eric Young was a good. They needed to use him more,
and they made Alistair just look like a killer out there, and I think it's working.
For me, this was like a better win than him just beating some local enhancement talent. Again, like I thought about Mojo earlier with Drew. These are the people that, no offense, if they're not going to be using them right or using them right, then at least get them on TV and beat them.
Mm-hmm.
When's the last time Eric Young was on TV? I mean, I know he was
24/7 or a pull apart, I believe.
Yeah. He's had a couple matches recently because we brought it up, like how they could be doing more with him.
So
they should bring Dorian Spraldrin. Thank you for the $4.99 donation, saying they should bring back the mask gimmick for Ricochet, make him more interesting and appealing. That was cool when he was in Lucha Underground.
It was until I saw what he looked like in real life, and much like Luchasaurus, I was like, "Why the hell has this guy got a hood on?" No way. He's a good-looking dude.
Yeah,
movie star, good-looking.
And if he was wearing a mask, I think they tend to segregate. Anyone that's got a lucha
he will be, absolutely.
In WWE especially, you got to see
him. He'll be a lucha house party. Yes, he will.
This next segment, I mean, great example of that. Umberto Carrillo versus Angel Garza. Angel was out with Selena Vega. Now in real life, they're cousins. They brought that up in this angle.
I thought that was cool.
And then Rey Mysterio interfered, and then became Rey Mysterio versus Angel Garza. And,
well, real quick, let's talk about this promo.
Yeah,
so
please.
Selena Vega introduced Angel Garza. So Angel Garza had just lost the cruiserweight title, and I remember that made no sense to me because he's one of the guys over there that looks like a star, and it was, it seems so weird to take him off of him so quick. But yeah, here he is now, main roster. Now he's with Selena. Andrade was suspended with wellness violation last week. And man, I thought he was great here. I thought he had that swagger. I was saying he reminded me of a cross between like Eddie Guerrero and Rick Rude. Just he's got that Eddie swagger, but does a lot of this like the lady killer stuff that Rick Rude used to do. And he just had that poise and confidence. He's everything that Umberto Carrillo is lacking right now. And so he's with Selena right now, and he was just. He's just natural with his heels.
Go ahead.
He cut a promo for a bit and starting to have a little difficulty with that. But other than that, I thought it was a good Raw debut for him.
Was it longer than your promo just now? Forever. I want to forget what I want to say. It happens to me all the time. What I did say, like how hooked up is that though to get? Right, to have that be your unveiling to either a SmackDown audience or a Raw audience, you get to come out with her and have what I mean, and have her be the one to bring it out there like that. I think it gave him instant credibility.
Yeah,
because trust me, he was not going to be doing this. I'm sure, like you said, he's filling in, right? And you never know when you get your break.
Yeah. Justin Lopez, thanks for the super chat donation, $2. He said Garza equals Eddie and Umberto equals Chavo.
I like her Joker profile. Great movie, by the way, Joker.
Yeah, Nightmare Knee wants to know why is it always Lucha stars facing each other. That's creative. A couple of you that have sent super chats, we'll get to you when we're on that segment. But there's so we'll get to you in a little bit here.
I wish these guys were mixing it up with other talent a little bit more. I mean, that's my only note about this. These segments were great. Ray coming out was great. I thought Garza grabbing Ray, dropping him on the exposed concrete with the hammerlock was cool.
Yeah.
And Zelina being with them is only going to help him.
Yep.
We shall see where it goes. After that, we got the tease about Charlotte Flair coming in to make her announcement about WrestleMania and who she's going to face. Came out, talked about, she's held both titles multiple times, beaten both Becky and Bayley. Fans started chanting for Rhea and NXT, and then Charlotte acknowledged that, saying that she had love for NXT and NXT has love for their queen. She said she's held the gold 10 times, but she still wants all the gold. Wasn't sure where she was going with this, but then Rhea Ripley's music hit came out. And, of course, Rhea pointed out that Charlotte may have beat Becky, may have beat Bayley, but Rhea has beat Charlotte. Charlotte has not beaten her. Issued the challenge for WrestleMania. Charlotte did not give a response, except she walked up the ramp, turned around, delivered a woo, and they announced later in the evening that she will be on NXT on Wednesday night to answer Rhea's challenge.
Yep, so that's clearly your WrestleMania match.
But this was backwards. It would have meant so much more to have Charlotte be the one all on her own to go out there and call Rhea out.
Yeah. And
would have lifted that championship as well.
I wonder where they're going for this. So this helps NXT short term in the ratings, but it also overshadows Bianca Belair versus Rhea, which is coming up at TakeOver Portland. And we've got a full throttle build to that going on right now. I was telling Raj before the show, I almost wonder if in some way this leads to a triple threat at Mania, given Bianca's impressive showing at the Royal Rumble.
First of all, you wish. Second, I mean, yeah, it would be great for Belair, obviously, yeah, but they're just booking things. You know how they do this. They do this crisscross crap where they book the short-term stuff and then the long-term stuff. Long-term game is obviously WrestleMania, so they think it's perfectly okay that they can run and piggyback Charlotte Flair on top of that angle. You know what I'm talking about? The WrestleMania angle on top of the NXT angle.
Yeah, and Bianca's not ready yet. I mean, she's good
for a main event match at Mania, Glenn.
It's not going to be a main.
I love her too,
It's
but come on,
maybe be the opening match on the show. I don't think it's going to be near the main event. I think Becky versus Shayna will be the highest ranked women's match, or Bayley versus Sasha.
But to your point about them doing the angles,
yeah,
they're doing the WrestleMania angle while they have a pay-per-view match. They just did that they're doing that with Lesnar and Ricochet too, right? They announced Lesnar and Ricochet, even though they announced Lesnar and Drew at Mania.
But let me posit this theory, Matt. How do you book it? You can't. Are you going to have Charlotte lose clean to Rhea Ripley? Bianca gives them an out where Charlotte can still look strong. Rhea can retain.
I mean, that'd be. Yeah. I would love for it to happen. I'm just saying, I don't think I can see them wrestle a 3-way at Mania.
Okay, so 1-on-1, who wins at Mania for the
Rhea.
NXT Women's Title?
Who?
Rhea.
Over Charlotte.
Rhea Ripley over Rhea Ripley over Charlotte.
It's not like Charlotte never loses.
But she has a WrestleMania streak, doesn't she, or no?
No, she lost the triple threat.
Becky.
Yeah.
All right. Yeah, Charlotte loses.
Okay.
There you go.
So this will be a good bump, I think, for NXT on Wednesday.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, it gives her something new, something fresh at WrestleMania. It gives Rhea a big match on the card. We'll see how she gets over, on the big stage. And yeah, I like it. I mean, I don't think Charlotte should go to NXT like from Raw or anything like that. So just as a one-off to put Rhea over, it makes all the sense in the world.
Asuka versus Natalya tonight. Did you hear the comment? And someone in our chat mentioned it. At one point, Natalya yelled at Asuka something along the lines of, "You want to shoot on me?"
Yeah.
She could just been working.
Yeah, I think she was. Yeah. They were exchanging holds when she did that. So yeah.
I could see her saying that though. She can be corny sometimes. Yeah, this was a good match.
I think the takeaway really though is after when Asuka called out saying she wants Becky Lynch again for Asuka versus Becky 3. Becky came out to answer her challenge, and I was very shocked when after accepting it, they announced shortly thereafter that it's going to be next week on Raw. They're not even saving this for Elimination Chamber.
Yeah, me either. But
Elimination Chamber is a month away.
Yeah, but that's a big match.
It's a pay-per-view match.
But they just did it. Becky already beat her clean. I think it's just a way to kill time and have Becky beat somebody.
Okay, and have a high-profile match. Just have it on.
Yeah. I thought it would be cool if they did this in Saudi Arabia. They already did one women's match. So
yeah,
if you want to, have your biggest star, but. That's not what they're doing.
Yeah. This was a really good match, though. Asuka versus Natalya. Asuka got a win.
Yeah, it was really well worked. I mean, they both busted their asses in this match. But the crowd was a little quiet for it.
Triple threat main event tonight for a WWE title shot at the WWE Super ShowDown in Saudi Arabia. We had Seth Rollins versus Bobby Lashley versus Ricochet. Now, Buddy Murphy, AOP got involved in this. The Viking Raiders and Kevin Owens got involved in this. But ultimately, this came down to Ricochet pinning Lashley for the pin and earning that title spot against Brock. And he was attacked by Brock immediately after the match ended. We went off the air with Brock standing tall.
Hell of a win, though. Ricochet beating Bobby Lashley.
Yeah. This is going to be a good match. I think this has the potential to be one of Brock's best matches.
Exactly. I agree. I think it will be.
Well, yeah. I mean, it could also be a 90-second squash. That's one thing I love about Brock Lesnar matches. You just never know which way they'll go. But because if Lesnar doesn't think that Ricochet is worth selling for, then he's not going to give too much. So
we'll see.
Yeah, Scott Wilde. Let me see if I can find his super chat said that Lesnar appears to be much smaller now. He is 42 years old.
Much smaller, what, physically? Like muscle-wise? What's he saying?
Yeah, physically, muscle-wise.
No, I don't want to touch it.
He is older. He's 42.
Of course he... I don't want to start healing on our fans, guys. Just keep it moving.
But Matt, I mean, certainly when you're like your most beast mode and your most jacked, maintaining that is.
Why would you?
I don't know.
With my position, I can't really get into this for Brock. I don't want to make a comment that.
Yeah.
But guys, do the math into years and what you're talking about when he looked the way he looked versus now.
There you have it. So Ricochet, man, the promos for this. We're going to have Paul Heyman hyping up Brock. We're going to have Ricochet hyping up Ricochet.
Well, good thing it's only in a few weeks, so it's not going to be too many.
It's a good sell, though. Hang on. That's a very good sell, though, Glenn. Good job. Maybe rethink your idea.
But if you had Street Profits against Paul Heyman, that's gold.
I would watch that.
That would be fantastic.
Yeah, it could be hilarious, but
yeah. Instead, we'll get them in corny comedy segments and they'll let Ricochet talk for himself. But the match is going to be awesome. That's the important part.
I think so too.
Fantastic match. Raj, what else is going on in the world of sports entertainment?
So obviously the Super Bowl just over. We talked about that. You know what I was surprised about? There was no mention of the XFL on Raw tonight. It debuts on Saturday. We're going to be doing a special podcast that night. We're not going to really be analyzing the games as much as talking about, as a product and how it's different from the NFL and if this could work. So right now it's definitely me and Matt. Glenn is a maybe, but
I'll be there. I mean, what else am I going to do?
You got to watch the football though. Got to watch both games.
It's the XFL. I mean, it practically watches itself.
But yeah, no, not one mention. I mean, even during the Super Bowl, they had an XFL spot, but nothing on Raw. So WWE did get sued for Vince's involvement in the XFL and some of the stuff that they've been doing. So I don't know if it's anything related to that.
Wait, what?
Well, so I'm forgetting the union or something that sued Vince, but they were saying that they're doing as stockholders, you're doing advertising for the XFL and not getting any revenue for it, and just other things like that are causing a conflict of interest.
Yes.
WWE shareholders.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
And that's kind of common. You have to still pay a fair market value. TV syndicators used to get in trouble for this, like when Fox owned the X-Files and syndicated the X-Files to Fox stations.
Yeah.
So now everything has to be done at a fair market rate. Like that's the precedent-setting case. So in theory, Vince has to charge the XFL for promo in WWE.
But then they do network promos. All the pay-per-views are building to the network, and they're not paying advertising for that. But I guess it's the same product.
Same company.
It is different.
And if you look at the WWE stock price, it's half where it was?
Oh my gosh, they lost $1 billion in one day. So yeah, the WWE co-presidents are out.
Bought it then.
Michelle Wilson and George Barrios out as co-presidents. They had just started in 2018. They were the next in line to take over after Vince.
I still don't believe that. Did you say they just both started in 2018?
No, they've been with the company forever, but they were named co-presidents in 2018.
I mean, dude, he's turning it over to his daughter, and i.e. Hunter as well.
But he doesn't. He's been putting business people in charge of the business end.
And that would still continue, I would imagine, right? Unless Stephanie figured a way to shit can that idea. I still think you don't think Stephanie would run this company though?
No, I think the stock. I mean, I think they would just lose all their value in the stock because these are. I mean, the people that they have in charge are legitimate business people with impressive backgrounds, and to go from that to a Triple H or a Stephanie McMahon, I think that would just cause investors to pull out. I mean, I think that's why they never did that in the first place. But Gotcha. Yeah, the stock dropped again today, so it's down a lot right now.
What's it at?
$46.
$46, yeah.
And what's it been at its highest?
It was almost 100.
It hit 99.
Yeah.
Damn.
Yeah, it lost a ton of, like we said, $1 billion in value in one day. So,
damn.
Yeah,
it's pretty wild.
So, but Friday night before the XFL debut on Saturday, Goldberg is coming to Smackdown.
Yep, and we'll be covering it here on Wrestling Inc. Podcast with me and who else?
I don't know. I'll be here.
Yeah. All right, who is Goldberg going to be facing? Who do you guys think it is?
Is it for, what do you call it? For going overseas again?
Yeah.
It's for the Saudi Arabia show.
Honestly, it could be anybody. Just somebody like Dolph to beat again, maybe.
I think it's gonna be Roman.
I think Big E.
Big E. He did say it's his dream match, but they usually like to create like the big dream matches for these shows.
Okay, but he can't do it anymore. We've seen this.
But I think with Roman, Roman could work with him, and so the problem with him and Undertaker is they're both 50, and the old dudes trying to do their old power moves. But
Goldberg and Riddle, book it. As Michael McFarlane said, won't happen.
No, yeah. So those guys in Saudi Arabia don't see Riddle on his level. This is to impress them to keep getting these big shows. Baby Maharaja, thanks for the $5 super chat. He's saying, why WWE rehired Sylvian after he sued the WWE but did not re-sign Rob Conway as a trainer? He was the only one from their group who didn't sue WWE.
Wait, time out. I'll tell you right now. Sylvain Grenier got hired with WWE again?
Yeah, in like a trainer role.
I'll tell you right now, he's Pat Patterson's boy. That's his guy. That's always what was said when he came out to WWE. He was in it. He was in and through there so quick, without much of any training. I like Sly though on the personal level. I think he's hilarious. Most of us did. Everyone generally got along with him, but he was always fast tracked because of his friendship with Pat Patterson.
Yeah. Aaron G pointing out that New Day is already booked for Super Showdown. They're facing The Miz and John Morrison.
Mm-hmm.
So who could it be?
Suggesting Sting. Oh, God, that would be a disaster if they did that. But that was a rumor that Sting was going to be coming back for this show. But I think it would be two separate matches as opposed to... that would not be pretty.
No.
Sting versus The Fiend would be a nice build-up to Fiend versus Undertaker.
Yeah, but neither of those are in the card right now.
Yeah.
Cannot take that risk.
Yeah. Wow, we kind of flew through this. Seeing if there's anything else. I think we kind of covered all the big news. Glenn, do you have anything else?
I don't got anything. WrestleMania.
Plug WrestleMania. What we got coming up? Our big shindig.
So, Raj, where does everybody go to RSVP for the WrestleMania meetup on Friday before Mania?
Go to facebook.com/Wrestling Inc. Click on events and just let us know. You don't have to fill out a registration form or anything like that. It's a quick, I'm interested or I'm coming. And then that kind of guarantees your spot at the thing. And we hope to see all of you guys there.
Come on out.
Rick's on the River, Tampa, Friday, April 3rd from 3 to 5 p.m.
Yeah, it's going to be good, man.
You heard it. Yep, come on out. Y'all talk to us so much on Twitter and other social media platforms, right? We always shoot the shit about wrestling and other things as well. It'd be really cool to meet so many of you guys in person finally.
Yeah, and it's Friday. It's the afternoon, so you still have time that night to go watch SmackDown.
Yeah,
all the other shows that are going on that night. So, it'll be a lot of fun. So definitely be there.
Should be good. He's at BP Matt Morgan. He's at Raj Giri _303. I'm at Glenn Rubenstein on the Twitters. And we'll be back here Wednesday night to talk about AEW and NXT. Charlotte Flair appearing on NXT. Cody is getting his 10 lashes on AEW Dynamite Wednesday night. We'll have the complete recap afterwards. And until then, folks, we will catch you back here on the Wrestling Inc. podcast.